We have a special guest in the house today. Special guest in the building. Hi, Lauren. How are you doing?
I am fantastic. I am fantastic. Very happy to be here.
Thanks for coming to the DAT channel studio. Let me just quickly start. All the way from Chicago.
I am
What are
here.
you doing in this Renaissance city?
There's a couple of reasons. One, I feel like I'm the world's oldest student.
Okay.
I'm learning about wine in Italy.
Okay.
I am a student,
Okay.
but also just in search of a new place to call home for myself
Okay.
and for my business interests. So it just landed me here in Florence, Italy.
Wow. Wow. So how far have you been? How is it so far?
Oh, it's amazing.
Okay.
It's absolutely amazing. I think Florence is a dynamic city. I think it's a very charming city.
Okay.
Very, very different from Chicago. Chicago is big buildings and sky rise building, high rise buildings, and here is the buildings date back to medieval time, and the history is very amazing. And so it's very, very different from what I'm accustomed to, and I like the difference. Viva la difference.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. And usually, I know the African Americans, when they travel abroad, like a couple of my friends, definitely just for a holiday, short holiday. How long do you, because I know that you've been in Italy now, or rather in Florence, since when exactly?
Since January.
Since January.
Since January.
Wow,
It's been a
wow,
while.
wow, wow,
It's
wow.
almost
That's good.
August, so it's been a
Almost,
while.
almost 1 year.
it's it's
Fantastic.
been a while.
Fantastic. So, which other interesting would you like to tell us that you have seen so far as a city, Florence? Is there something particular that really has come to your mind that you have seen recently that really blew you up? So, wow, this is something amazing.
Oh, there's so many. I think the very first week I walked the Ponte Vecchio Bridge,
Okay.
which I now know that Vecchio means old, the old bridge.
Okay.
So that was pretty amazing from medieval times, of course. I've recently visited the Uffizi Gallery,
Oh, wow.
which is stunning. To be able to, if you just think about the Bible and biblical times, the fact that some of these structures um, predate, even the birth of Christ is just amazing to me. So to walk the halls of that esteemed gallery was pretty amazing. And then I've had personal experiences. You mentioned, traveling abroad as an African American, and I remember my very first week of being here. I remember saying to my mother back home, I said, I don't feel my color here. She's like, what do you mean by that? I said, no, my color is of no consequence. No
That's
one
true.
really cares what I look like. It's just hello,
That's
you
it.
know,
Just hello.
just hello.
That's it. Okay. Right now, people would like to know, rather myself, I'm very curious just to know a little bit of your history. I do know. But there's something in particular that you really like to create that make you come down to Florence. And what we learned is that you have passion for wine. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Oh, absolutely. You know, Especially coming out of this pandemic, there's a lot of people who have pivoted into different careers. And so I own a concierge business in Chicago.
Okay.
And there's a lot that goes along with it. There's so many different like kind of lines of service that fall under concierge, not really like just the traditional concierge that you think of at a hotel, but more so hospitality based
Okay.
and service based. But my interest in wine here has to do also with my passion for tourism as well, which also falls under that concierge industry. And so basically, I am pulling together a wine club
Okay.
on behalf of clients in the United States.
Wow.
And what better place
Then Florence.
than Florence, Italy? So oh my goodness, it's been just terrible. I've had to go to villas and go to vineyards and you know taste wine over and over again. My gosh,
Fantastic.
it's just
Fantastic.
daunting. No,
Seeing a black woman trying to run Italian wine.
right.
It's number one. Great.
So that's really, partially school and business, is what, draws me here. And of course, business pays the bills. But I also have other passions, and that's why I'm here.
Oh, okay. Okay. This passion you have while you are here, would you like to tell us? This passion in particular?
Well,
No, excuse me. Before I drive you into that,
okay.
there's something me in particular I'd like to ask you. Um, how do you feel? How do you feel of the business in general when you take a look at Italy? The wine business, just to conclude what we we're discussing before, between Italy and the United States, do we have lots of the African Americans that consume Italian wine? This is my question.
I think the African Americans consume wine and aren't necessarily currently looking at where that wine is coming from, other than wanting to know that it is a good quality
Okay.
wine. So it's more about the quality
Okay.
as opposed to the region
Okay.
to a degree.
Okay. Okay. I understand.
Yes.
I understand. That's good. That's good.
Yes.
I think we stand a better chance when it comes to that. We Italians, As Italian wine, I mean to say, stand a better chance.
Oh, yes. Yes. I will say that I think the states in general, no matter what race you are or what ethnic background, looks to Italy as a place for wine,
Okay.
just in general.
That's fantastic.
We assume that it's probably
The best one.
the best or a superior wine simply because it is from Italy.
That's good.
Yes.
So now can we drive into why specifically you are here in the studio?
Of course. This is probably the most exciting part because I'm grateful that I get to do a job that I enjoy, but to be able to work in or to explore your actual passions is just, it'll never feel like work. And so film and writing, actually. Writing is in my background, and it is a true love and a true passion. And so as I'm scrolling through Facebook, while I'm here in Italy, I see the ADCF African Film Festival pop up on my timeline, and I press it, and I just was transported into a whole nother world that I just did not know existed here. And so, I know we have this interesting story that, I send a message thinking I was going through it so fast I thought I had missed it. And I'm like, no, there's something, in that diaspora, and I missed it, and I'm, kind of bummed out. And I send a message, and I get a message back stating, no, you haven't missed it. It's coming up. But I still couldn't see all the information, and I'm still asking more questions, and I get a response. And then eventually I find my way to Villa di Roma, which I just even like saying it. I sound like I can speak the language by saying it. And it's almost like, the clouds parted, and there's this beautiful, beautiful villa that is just stunning. It's just breathtaking. And I begin to tell my story about how I happened upon this place, and I end up telling it to you, and you tell me what? I am that person.
Yeah, I'm not that person. You did send that message on FB too. I'm that person. Really interesting. Really very
Yes.
interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, and in fact, I did ask you immediately. Wow, it's not. And every day we're coming to the festival. Every day we're present. Every day.
Every day, I came every day to the festival, and I love that there was a different screening every single day. And I've been in quarantine. The world's been in quarantine, and I love the word audacity, and I love that you had the audacity, and everyone had the audacity to decide we're going to plan this, and we're just going to go on faith that this will be at a time that we can present this to the public. And again, like the clouds parted, and uh, the restrictions had dissipated, and I was I'm loving having a reason to wear a dress every day. So for me, it was not only an event, but I treated it like it was the red carpet. I was just so happy to be able to immerse myself in this experience. I could not get enough. Every single day was dynamic films. Some made me cry, some made me joyful. It was far more than I anticipated. So I'm expecting a film festival, but I didn't realize that there would be these different entertainers, and there was music, and there was a fashion show, and all with this beautiful scenery that seemed to be like a backdrop to a movie. It just was exquisite.
So, I mean, now that you've been able to explain about the African Diaspora Cinema Festival, I'm really impressed. Do you think, since it's an independent film festival, do you think in future that the festival can grow? This is a festival that has received in the past 5 years over 2,000 movies from over 100 countries across the globe. Do you think we can really grow? Our main problem, I just have to be sincere with you, is finance. Do you think the possibility is there?
Oh, absolutely. I absolutely believe that. And for the reasons you just mentioned, um, the many different, did you say 2,000?
Yeah, 2,000,
At least
movies.
2,000
Over
movies,
2,000.
over 2,000 movies. And is it 11 countries?
From over 100 countries.
Oh my.
Over
Okay.
100 countries across the globe in
Over
5 years, yeah.
over 100 countries. So one, I think that's amazing. I think it says a lot about what you've been doing over the past 5 years. It also tells me that there's been a lot of buy-in. There's been a lot of people who are interested to submit from so many different places. So absolutely, I think when you speak of financing, I never, with those kind of results, I would never think there would be a problem. There's a movie in the States, and one of this common theme from it is if you build it, they will come. And so you've built it.
Oh, gradually it's going to come.
You've already built it, and through the submissions, they have come. And so when you're thinking about sponsorship, and having that kind of conversation, those sponsors are going to want to know, well, who's going to be there? Well, people from over 100 countries. What type of people are going to be there? Well, people who have a passion for film, and more than likely their friends and family who want to support them as well, and other people who have a love for the filmmaking process and for dynamic stories. And so when you think about Cannes Film Festival, or the Tribeca Film Festival in New York, and all these different places, they built it. And so then the sponsors came. So why should this be any different? I fully expect that the sponsors will really want to kind of wrap their arms around this project, because everything feeds the next in this climate. You know, we're coming out of a pandemic, and there's so many people who want to get on a plane and go somewhere. They've been trapped in their homes for so long. There's so many people who made it through the pandemic through watching movies, through that they watched on Netflix or wherever they were watching. It got them through. This whole body of work that you could kind of sum up as filmmaking in general is has been really like a source of fuel for so many. And so to be able to go back to the theater is one thing, but be able to go to a hotel. As you noticed, I took a cab here every single night.
So you used to be like promoting the taxi drivers.
Exactly.
You said it all. Yeah, that's true.
So taxi drivers got paid for at least 4 or 5 nights in a row because I wanted to make it here.
That's true.
And I wasn't the only person who showed up here. So there was plenty of others. So we're talking about taxi drivers getting business. We're talking about hotel and accommodations getting business. We're talking about airlines getting business.
We had food during the festival.
Food during the festival.
Drinks.
Everything. So there's definitely a reason for everyone to be at the table.
Yes. No, this is a beautiful smile. Now you have made my day. Now it means that this African Diaspora Cinema Festival, there is hope. After listening to your explanation, Lauren, there is hope. However, before you leave today in our studio, there's something in particular I would like to ask you. If anybody asks of your experience during the African Diaspora Cinema Festival in Chicago, what are you going to tell that person? What are you going to say?
I would start off by saying that it was invigorating. It was inspirational. It was honest. It was daring. It was courageous. It was well received. And it is and will be the past, present, and future of storytelling of the African diaspora.
Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Now, thank you so much. And before I forget, when are you flying back to Chicago?
I'm back and forth for a little bit. But I actually go back next week to Chicago.
Now?
Yes, I will be going back next week, and I will be telling the story and passing it along, and look forward to 2022.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Your sister.